Good evening, friends. I welcome you all to this particular presentation of mine on Excel Stat. And after completion and understanding of options and what was available for us, and more, we will be working once I'll start showcasing the practical aspects of it, in which we can, input some data and then import some data, I would say, and then we can showcase it also. And then I would be sharing more details on it. The next option that you can see in Excel Stat menu is for the language, and the default one is in English, immediately followed by French, German, Italian, Japanese, Portuguese, and Spanish. Now, apart from these languages, you can see you can click on help, and in this is an HTML page wherein you can look for the various topics which are available for you. For example, you have got introduction, installation using Excel Stat, general options, which I was trying to make you understand, and you can enter into the depth understanding of the general options also, which we will see later on with some data, and we can understand. There is the next section is on preparing data, describing the data. Now you see, when we attend any kind of a workshop wherein basics of the research methodology is given, we go into that kind of a flow only to understand what all things are available. So quickly here you can see that after the installation process is over, they are preparing the data, describing the data, visualizing the data. Now most of us have completed with the basics, and we know how to work on SPSS or R, or let's say with Python or Smart PLS or Jamovi. I mean, thanks to Neeraj sir and other resource persons who really helped us out to understand. However, when we come to the advanced levels, we need to even find out whether preparing the data, describing data, visualizing the data, analyzing data, modeling data, machine learning, correlation, association test, parametric, non-parametric testing for the outliers, which I haven't seen much videos on them. So I think this is one area where I really would love to explore more and try to understand it. Then you have got Excel Stat AI, mathematical tools, sensory data analysis, which is my favorite area, and that's why I like. This is where I was introduced to this software, and I was like, okay, because there was something that I was trying to compare it with in one of my textbooks. So I was trying to understand what exactly do we mean by sensory data analysis. And then we have got the marketing tools. Then it is conjoint analysis. You can go further and you can see that yes, there are so many points which are available. Now if I want, I can go ahead and see the more details about it. Now for example, in preparing the data, if I click on the plus sign, the tree opens up, and you can see what all topics are there. For example, under preparing data, I have got data sampling, distribution sampling, then variables transformation, missing data, this is that is take racking a survey. Then we have got create a contingency table, full disjunctive tables, and this is discretization, data management, text data cleaning, coding, presence or absence of coding, then coding by ranks, import data file. Now everything that is pertaining to the data, and you will see once we will click on each one of them, then we would be able to understand as to what exactly is taking up and how to go ahead and take care of it. Now for example, missing data, then racking a survey. Now this has to be, I think, ranking a survey. There's some mistake over there, so we will try to find out whether these kind of a things. Now similarly with the data management, data text or data cleaning. Now some of us who are into textual analysis and we like it, maybe using different softwares or using R, you will see that definitely yes, there has to be some data cleaning process even for the textual analysis. So here even that is being taken care of in Excel Stat. Now we can minimize it, and we can go further looking for describing the data. Now similarly, I can go ahead, I can minimize and click on plus sign, and you can have a look at it also, wherein we can understand what all things are there for the describing of the data. Here you can see it is descriptive statistics, which is common across all the softwares. Variable characterization, Now, this is something which is quite new, and I am interested. Similarly, quantiles, you all do quantiles, then percentiles also. However, quantiles estimation, how many of us are doing? Now, think about it. Histograms, normality test, resampling, similarity or dissimilarity matrices. Now, why are they taking care? Now, this is where I said, whenever you are talking about the data or you are trying to describe the data, there are certain things that we need to understand. It's not just the normality test which all of you ask whether my data is normal or not. There has to be more to it, the distribution plots which are there. And I hope you do see in majority of the workshops, though I keep attending Neeraj sir's workshops, and I have seen he takes that much of pain to come to each and every individual. He gives you that random data which is being created by him, and he says take out your pen notebook and there you draw. So sometimes when I go back home and I try to recapitulate whatever he has taken care on that particular day, I keep wondering why so many graphs. Later on, when you understand the distribution, how the data is being distributed, and what kind of a things you can really understand with your own data. It's not just the probability or the distribution plots or the scatter plots that we are looking for. There is something that is being showcased with help of the data. Now, that is where our things comes in for us to understand describing your data. And that's why I say there has to be one complete portion in your thesis or even in the publication of the paper where you are trying to describe these things also side by side. Resampling, then comes biserial correlation if it is there, then comes multicollinearity statistics, reliability analysis is also there, contingent tables which is descriptive, and intelligent pivot tables. Now this is something which we will work out more, and this is the contribution of Excel stat again, and we will see how to understand it. Now similarly, you can just minimize this particular section, and then you can carry forward with the visualizing data also, so that you are able to understand what kind of visualizations are we talking about with the help of our data. So if you go ahead and you can click on visualizing the data part, and you will understand that yes, data really speaks to you. It's only up to you how well you are able to understand and try to interpret it and put it into words so that it can be working out for you. Now if I click on visualizing the data, here you will see that you have got univariate plots. Okay, now they have given you the names. Most of the time we don't. Scatter plots, probability plots, that is probability as well as the distribution plots, I would say. Motion charts, bar chart trace, this is new. Parallel coordinates plots, then we have got ternary diagrams, 2D plots for crosstabs, error bars. Now I told you error bars we have never taken care of, so there must be something wrong with the data, and we have to understand even that also. Word cloud, plot a function, axis zoomer. Now in my playlist, especially on algorithms, you will be seeing what is the difference between algorithms, model, and why a function. So if you are keen into that, you will understand why there is a need to plot that particular a function so that we can understand our model and proceed further also side by side. Now axis zoomer, now you can, okay, we will talk about it later. Easy labels, repositioning of labels. Now then this is easy points, orthonormal plots. Okay, now resizing a chart, then plot transformations, and then we have got mimi plots also side by side. Now similarly you can carry forward and try to understand what each one of these concepts are for us. It's not just talking about simple bar graph or histograms and saying, okay, I have completed with my visualization. Please go ahead and try to understand. Now similarly we have got analyzing the data. Now you see, if you are earnest and ardent student of Python, they never talk about factor analysis. They talk more about EDS, discriminatory analysis. This you will see it more and more. Similarly, they talk about EDA rather than EFA. So here again you will see all these differences coming in: factor analysis, principal component analysis. Now if you really understand those kind of a stuff, which I will definitely will be presenting in one of my videos, you will see that principal component analysis, factorial analysis of mixed data, discriminant analysis, correspondence analysis. I mean, I have seen fine with help of, like, I keep watching videos of Neeraj sir again. The fundamentals of it, the basics of the research methodology, he has explained very, very nicely. However, if you want to go further, for example, multi-dimensional scaling, MDS, you have got the traditional and the advanced form of it. So one has to literally understand, what is the difference between the basic MDS as well as the contemporary one, or I would say the advanced form of it. K means clustering. Why is it that it is there? Even now, you see, again, if you are into machine learning, now whenever I'm teaching some of the students machine learning, I know that after understanding of certain things, there is a time when they have to understand what are clusters, what is association, what is supervised, unsupervised learning. Then you have got neural networks, then reinforcement learning, association rules. There's so many things. So why we are talking about K means of clustering, or is there something else also? Agglomerative hierarchical clusters, then Gaussian mixture models, univariate clustering. Now why is it that I have mentioned about these two kind of clusters only, and why not the other kind of clusters? Trust me, clusters, there are so many varieties of it, and if you are at the higher level of research methodology, you will be able to understand these things very well. Similarly, you can go ahead, you can click any of these question marks in order to improve your understanding of the concepts and the theory behind it. You can go ahead and take care. Now then comes what we call it as the modeling of the data. In this, definitely as distribution fitting. Now I love distributions. Now I know in one lecture when I was trying to prepare myself, initially there was a time when I used to hate it. However, later on I understood why normal distribution, then why we are talking about non-normal or curve distributions. I'm not supposed to use the word non-normal. However, normal distributions are there, then opposite to that, contrary to it, it should be non-normal. However, they talk about curves. Then you have got exponential distribution, then logistic distribution. There's so many varieties. At least I have seen around 32 varieties of distributions which you can really go, and here also they are talking about the same thing. So you have got linear regression, ANOVA, ANCOVA, repeated measures, ANOVA, mixed models, MANOVA, logistic regression, log linear regression, quantile regression, cubic spines. This is something very different that you will be learning. Non-parametric regression. Have you ever heard about it? Parametric? Yes. What about non-parametric? Then comes non-linear regression, two-stage least squares regression. Now you see, least squares regression is very common in the advanced forms of the research methodology, and they really focus upon it. Now look at the last one. It is PLS, PCR, OLS regression. GM, I don't know what happened to it. So however, you have got all the three varieties of it also side by side. Then they are talking about machine learning. You can click onto it and we can see they are talking about K means fuzzy means clustering, then Gaussian mixture models, then similarly you have got classification and regression. Now remember that whenever we are talking about machine learning, there is a lot of importance given to clusters, classifiers, algorithms. Then you have got this distributions, then there are certain networks are there which we have to understand and proceed further. So all those things, they are taken over here. Support vector machine is one of them. If you remember, I had showcased the mind map in one of my videos on machine learning. There, data mining especially, you will be seeing all these things being taken care of. Now decision trees are not mentioned here, association rules are there. So there are so many things which are present in machine learning that they have not yet incorporated, or maybe it would be there under different headings. Then you have got a correlation, association rules. There are differences between these two. You can go ahead and we will see again. Now here you have got RV coefficient test on the contingency, and the other varieties are also there. Now comes the parametric. Now we all know parametric, there are so many things: one sample t test, z test, two sample t and z test, comparison of the means by k clusters, then one sample variance, two sample, then you can proceed further. That's why I said one is multi-dimensional test. Then if you go further, this one, multinomial goodness of fit test. Now this is where I when I go to Amos and I learned about goodness GIF, then more than that I think I understood the concept here. Then I went over there also to understand. Then you have got equivalence test, which is also called as TOST. So we need to understand even this thing also side by side. Coming to the non-parametric test, we know that these are the ones that we have got comparison of two distributions, and one of my playlist already talks about normal. Then I have taken care with the logistic, normal with binomial. Then I have got with the other distributions are also there, Poisson is there. Then there are around 8 of them which I was trying to teach to some of the computer science students, and I was able to hand over to them the video. So I said, okay, the remaining ones you can do. Though there are 28, I could not complete all 28 of them. At least 8 I was able to do, and maybe more we will see in later on again. So those things are also available for us basically. Then you will see Durbin Skilling SMAC test, that is DSM, page test, Cochrane's Q test. Now nobody talks about Cochrane's out here. However, if you are again ardent researcher, especially for meta-analysis, then you should know this one. Then McNamar's test is also there. Cochrane's Mantle Hansel test. Now one sample runs test also. Now Cochrane, if you have attended any of my workshops on RevMath, I have discussed a lot about those tests also. There's an entire family of those tests which is available depending upon what you choose for the meta-analysis topic. Then we have got testing of the outliers, which is my favorite zone, and I really spent some time on this particular part, wherein I really wanted to understand to find out about the outliers. Now one is the Grubbs test, then you have got Dixon test, Cochrane's C test is there, Mandel's HNK statistics is also available. Now similarly, you can go ahead with Excel StatI, Easy Fitness. Then mathematical tools, here they talk about probability calculator, metrics, operations. Now here they have not taught us more, showcased more. However, you will see that there is entirely I should say a topic focusing on metrics itself. Now when you come to the tools, you will see data ragger, minimum max search, remote text values. Now these are just the tools because they have got their own macros also built in. So these are the ones that I was talking about, that yes, macro and Excel add-ons are there, and these are some of them which are given to us through Excel Stat also. Now sensory data analysis is something that I'm looking forward, because there are so many of them which are being I should say a person specialized in the domain of marketing. I would say that these things are meant for the marketing scholars or teachers or whosoever is interested. Now external reference mapping, internal preference mapping, sorry, it's not reference, I'm so sorry, it is external preference mapping. Then internal preference mapping, panel analysis is there, product characterization, penalty analysis, free sorting data analysis. Then you have got kata data analysis, then T kata data analysis, temporal dominance of sensation, then time intensity. Now these are something which is on we call it as the advanced levels of the research research methodology techniques that we have got, and we definitely use them for our own research work also. So similarly you have got MFA status, clustatus, then catarsis, then this is CLUSCATA, clustata, and those things are also available, and you can proceed further. In fact, I was interacting with them and telling them that yes, there are others which they have missed it, like key driver analysis, it's not there, turf analysis, maybe maybe in another one I'll have to wait and see whether they have included it or not. So the Catalysis is there, CE, Clus Kata is there. Then you have got a semantic differential charts. Here comes the turf analysis, sensorily wheel, the design of experiments for sensory data, then design. Now someone who is really interested to go ahead with the qualitative analysis also side by side, you can work with your sensory data out here, and we will see once you get introduced to neural networks, you will be able to understand how these things are quite useful for us. Now similarly, you have got sensory discrimination test which we can think about, then semantic differential charts are also there. Now the next one is what we call it as the marketing tools, and maybe sorry, mathematical tools, not marketing. I'm still in that world of marketing. So these are the mathematical tools, no, marketing tools only. And here you can see price sensitivity meter, which very few of us are using, price elasticity of demand, and customer lifetime value, CLV, and customer long-term value. Now, if you are into risk analysis, or the project risk management, you can see they're talking about CRMs and ERMs also side by side. And later on, I will touch upon those things also. If you are a trained person for those tools and techniques which they are using it, then you will understand how important these also turn out to be for us. Similarly, you have got conjoint analysis. Then there is what we call it as the text mining. Now, if you click on conjoint analysis, you can see design of experiments for conjoint analysis, design for choice-based conjoint analysis, choice-based conjoint. So all of them are basically for the conjoint analysis itself. So it's not just one variety of it. So I don't know how many videos will be there for each one of them, and the concepts are really interesting to understand and to proceed further also. Now similarly, you can just go ahead with the text mining, word cloud, feature extraction, fuzzy k-means. Now that is also there for us, and we will understand that once we come over. Decision aid, multi criteria aid test, design of experiments, this thing, and Bayesian networks. As I told you, algorithms, if we do it, we will be able to understand how important these networks are. Now it was just into the portion of the probability. However, slowly we moved into algorithms, and later on totally into the network analysis also side by side. Now time series analysis, those of you who are keen about the time series analysis, Exelstat, this one brings you a lot of it into it, and you can click and you can see that yes, there are so many things, I mean different topics that they have discussed under the title of the I would say time series analysis. So here they have explained to you quite a lot of them also, and you can utilize it. I mean, there was one person who asked me, are we going to focus on time series analysis also? Definitely yes. Exelstat has given you that leverage to think about the time series analysis and to proceed further. You have got Monte Carlo simulations, power analysis. Here you have got the direct, and you can just click on plus sign and you would be able to see that yes, power analysis is also something that they have taken care of. Now power analysis, as I was speaking, you can see that they have talked about time series visualization. How many of you really are into the time series visualizations? Now if you are again understanding about the network analysis through R, you will see that time series analysis completely can taken care of beautifully with the help of those visualizations. Now that's the latest in the market, and some of you who are working on the time series data should go ahead with this. Similarly, you have got the descriptive analysis, Mann-Kendall trend test, homogeneity test, then you have got Durbin-Watson test, Cochrane Orkut estimation. integration, then heteroscedasticity test, then you have got unit root and stationarity test, then co-integration, and all these things are also available, which you can do it, let me tell you, by R as well as Python and eViews also, because I did, out of enthusiasm, I had to attend one or two workshops on time series, and yes, I did understand a little bit of it, and then I can see out here that yes, they are talking about those things, though they give you a better output, though the results are the same thing. Similarly, you can go ahead and talk about Monte Carlo simulations, and then comes the power analysis, like if you are there, you must have heard about comparing means, compare variances, compare proportions, then compare correlations, linear regression, ANOVA, ANCOVA, logistic regression, Cox model. Now, once I saw these things, I was amazed to find out, because under power analysis, so many topics are being discussed that it took some time for me to digest and understand the concepts that they are talking about through power analysis. Then you have got statistical process control is also there. Now once you go ahead and click on the statistical process control, you would be able to understand what kind of things they are talking about, like subgroup charts. Now subgroup charts, if you remember, in meta-analysis they play a lot of important role, so have a look at it. Individual charts, attribute charts are there, time weighted charts, Pareto, yes, you can get. Then gauge R for quantitative variables, gauge R for attributes are also present in this. So that's what I said, it totally depends upon you how well you want to take care. Now this comes the design of experiments, screening designs, analysis of screening designs, surface response designs, analysis of surface. Now there are so many things like Taguchi designs. If you are keen for that, and if you have done little bit of your window shopping for the design and analysis course, especially in data analysis, then you will be able to understand the importance of all these design of experiments also side by side. So you can go through look at this we have done basically. This is on this one. Then we have got survival analysis. Under the survival analysis, if you click, you can see Kaplan-Meier analysis is there, life tables, Nelson-Allen analysis. So you see the research that we are talking about is not just limited to what, and we are still struggling. There's so much of the, there is a lot of topics which are available for us to go ahead and try to understand them. So the beauty of these softwares is that they give you the introduction to the higher end of your research methodology queries also side by side. So you see, it's not just the basics that yeah, you have done this, so your research is over, and we are struggling with that. In reality, I'm telling you. However, you should proceed further and try to understand how to go ahead and incorporate the advanced levels also of research. This comes the method validation, wherein we are talking about method comparison, passing, and Bablock regression. Now, I don't know, regression, I was just sharing it with somebody that I was just thinking that okay, we have got linear, then regression, logistic regression, and just 5 or 6 varieties of it. When I saw the list, that was so many of them are there, I said, oh god, it's good that one has to learn about those kind of regressions also. So here we have got dimming regression, then Uden plots are there, then you can talk about those this is dose effects analysis. Then you have got OMICS. Now I haven't entered into it, so once I'll start looking into it more and more, then we can talk about it. Multi-block analysis is something quite new for me, and here I understood the canonical correlation analysis, the redundancy analysis is there, then canonical correspondence analysis, principal coordinate analysis. How many of us have heard the names about all these things? Then generalized, so see, what I'm trying to do it is, I'm just trying to give you the view. These are just the window shopping wherein we do understand, and I have a paper and the pen in front of me, and I keep drawing those bars, how many of them I'm aware of. Then when I see the notebook and I say, oh God, I just have to close my face and say that, okay, I don't know to a lot of these things also side by side. Then I was surprised to see the PLS path modeling in Excel stat. And once I really wanted to find out that yes, what they are trying to take care of it. Now similarly, you have got Excel stat LG also, and these are little some of them that one has to go through and try to understand. Now here I'm just enlarging the window. Again, you can see the options button, hide tabs, and all those things are there, and we will go through this one once again. And I think what I'm planning to do it is pick up each and every topic and complete the understanding of certain analysis which is there, and then proceed further. So you can see that the opening page of the introduction talks about Excel stat, gives you a little bit of historical, the chronological development of the I would say the software. So Excel stat started in 1995, and it's a very powerful, complete, and user-friendly data analysis and statistical solution. Accessibility, how you can take care of it, power of this, completeness. So the highlights of these things are very important from the perspective of the software also side by side. So I'm just going to end up here, and let me come up with yet another presentation wherein we will go through a different tab altogether of the menu, and we will see what all things are available for us. Till then, thanks and take care. Bye.